Alright, let's follow the steps for synthetic division. The first thing we need are the coefficients from the polynomial. So we're going to need the 2, the positive 7, and the positive 7. And we'll write them kind of spaced out like that. We do need to make sure that our polynomial is in standard form with no skips. So we do have to the second, to the first, and then degree 0. So we're all set. So we took care of the first step. Next we need to draw a box around when we set the divisor equal to 0. So if we have x plus 2 equals 0, when we solve it for x, we'll subtract 2 from both sides and we'll get x equals negative 2. And we'll put that in a box out front. So we took care of that, and our next step is to drop down the very first number. So leave a little space underneath the numbers and draw a line. We don't drop the number in the box, we drop the very first number, which is that 2. So the 2 drops down. Now we start multiplying and adding repeatedly until we're all done. We will always multiply by the number out in the box. So we do negative 2 times 2, and we get negative 4. So we'll put that right up here. Next, we will add 7 plus negative 4, and we get 3. So that goes right there. And then we do the same thing over. We multiply by what's in the box by the 3, so negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. We put it right there. And next, we total up 7 plus negative 6. In other words, 7 minus 6 is 1. So we've done the multiplying and adding. Now we'll draw a box around the last number. That's our remainder. And the final step, step 7, is to rewrite the new coefficients using the variables with 1 degree less than what we started. So since our first degree was x to the second, we are going to rewrite these numbers as coefficients. So we'll write the 2, and instead of writing x squared next to it, we're just going to write x to the first, or x. Next we'll write the 3, it's positive, so we'll put 3, and we don't need to put any other variables. And the last step is to write our remainder, it's positive, so we'll put plus 1 over our divisor, just like we learned before, which is x plus 2. And that's your final answer. Let's try the next one. We are going to first check to make sure that we have standard form and no skips. So we have to the second, to the first, and nothing. So we'll write our coefficients. Here's our little reminder. CB CBD MA BR. Okay, there we go. So the first step, write the coefficients. We have a 1 first. We have negative 3 next. Make sure you take the sign in front of it. And last we have negative 18. So there are our coefficients. Next we need to draw a box around what we get when we set that equal to 0. So if we write x minus 6 equals 0, and we add 6 to both sides, we'll get x equals 6. And that's what we'll put in the box. A shortcut is to just look at what the sign is. Since it's negative 6, when we solve for x, it will flip and become positive 6. So that's a little shortcut you could use. Alright, so we drew the box. Now we need to drop down the first number. So we'll make a line and drop that 1 down. Next we're going to multiply and add until we're done. So we'll do what's in the box. 6 times 1 is 6. It goes right there. We'll total up negative 3 plus 6, which is positive 3. And we'll do it again. What's in the box? 6 times 3 is 18. That goes right here. And we'll total up negative 18 plus 18, and that gives us 0. So for this problem, our remainder is 0. So we'll rewrite these coefficients with variables 1 degree lower than what we started with. So the first coefficient's 1, and instead of starting with x squared, we'll just have x to the first, or x. Next we'll have the 3, it's positive, and we don't need to write any more variables, and our remainder is 0, so 1x to the third, or just x to the third, is the final answer. For this example, when we check standard form, we have to the fourth power, to the third power. The next one down would be to the second power, but we don't have any of those. We skip to the first power. So in between the 3 and the 1, we need to insert right there the fact that we have 0x to the seconds. Some people like to see this rewritten, so I'll go ahead and rewrite it so you can see. It would be 3x to the fourth, then the minus x to the third, then we have 0x squareds, then we have the positive 5x's, and then the minus 1. So let's go ahead and take those coefficients. We'll take the 3, the negative 1, the 0, the positive 5, and the negative 1. So we've taken care of the coefficients. Now we need to put a box around this when it's set equal to 0. So if it's x plus 2, inside the box we'll have negative 2. Next we'll drop down that first number, so the 3 falls down, and we start multiplying and adding. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. When we total up negative 1 minus 6, we get negative 7. We'll keep multiplying. Negative 2 times negative 7 is positive 14. 0 plus 14 is 14. Back out to the box. I'm going to quit drawing those lines because it's going to get too messy. Negative 2 times 14 is negative 28. 5 minus 28 is negative 23. And last, negative 2 times negative 23 is positive 46. And when we do negative 1 plus 46, we get 45. So we've taken care of multiplying and adding. We will draw a box around the last number. That's our remainder. And we just need to rewrite these new coefficients with variables 1 degree lower than what we started. So the first number is 3. Instead of starting with x to the fourth, we'll start with x to the third. Next we'll have the minus 7. After x to the third will come x squared. The 14 is positive, so plus 14x to the first, or just x. Next we'll have the minus 23, and finally our remainder is positive, so plus 45 over our divisor, x plus 2. That's the final answer. Good luck on your homework. A hint to you is on number 2 on your homework. There are 2 skips, so you should have 2 zeros somewhere when you write your coefficients out. And also the remainder is 106 at the very end. So if you don't get 106 for your remainder, something went wrong along the way. Good luck.